portal news had a big decision today. We really have been waiting for the announcement of one player, it seems, in John Mateer. Is he going to get in? Is he not? I don't know if there's been a more, I want to say just obvious he's going to be at Oklahoma player than John Mateer. I don't know. It seems like it's been something that has been in the works for a while. I don't know where else you would go if you really want to get into a university that is on the biggest stage and that really can give you the opportunity to showcase your skills on a level that can up your draft stock, like the University of Oklahoma in the SEC. Because he puts up those numbers next year, he'll be in New York for the Heisman and probably will win it. But we got that information or update, and then let's kind of look at what we saw here. This was earlier today. There was Mateer getting in the portal. Look at that, perfectly put between our faces.
Wow.
John Mateer was put in the portal, and obviously it shows the stats there. Over 3,000 passing, 800 rushing, and 44 total touchdowns. The dude's a phenom. I've been watching a lot of his just games recently in the last couple of weeks, and yeah, super athletic.
I feel like you
way more athletic than I thought he.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, way more athletic than I thought he was.
More research.
Yeah, I mean, the guy can move, and that's almost is a necessity now in college football to have a mobile quarterback.
Right.
So,
no, he's definitely shifty, and I know when you and I were first talking about, the possibility of him coming, you mentioning worried about his shiftiness and everything. And I remember I watched some of his highlights. I was like, man, I don't know, he seems pretty shifty. Like, he seems pretty quick, but really wasn't in the mood to debate, so I didn't even really bring it up. But I was impressed. But granted, I know the level is different, but
yeah,
we'll see. And again, I'm still not, maybe because I like competition, I'm never pro, oh, you come here, you're a starter, period. And you got to earn your spot. So Michael Hawkins is still in our team, and if he steps up and earns a starting spot, then that's great too. So
yeah.
But still would love to have
Yeah.
John on our team as well.
For sure. And then we saw, shortly after that, we saw this update. Pete Nakos predicting John Mateer to the University of Oklahoma. And, would be a big get, obviously. It doesn't solve all of our problems. I hate to just lead with that because it is good news. We have some serious issues in other areas of our team, and we'll get to the NIL and kind of what my opinions are and what I've heard from people who are pretty involved in that space. And just kind of some overall just thoughts on it. But OU really ponied up for that.
A few little thoughts on that.
Yeah. OU ponied up for Mateer. They're going to have to. It's a multi-million-dollar investment. He is able to get. His family lives in Little Elm, Texas. It's only a 2.5-hour drive from Norman. So the ability for his family to come see him play much easier than it is to get to Washington and the areas in which he plays. Yeah. It just adds to the draw for him and for his family, which I think is something that you almost can't put a price tag on that to be able to play and have your family come watch all your games.
Right, definitely a big deal. As someone who played 5 hours from home when I went to Arkansas Tech, that was far and made it harder. My family was still at every game because I had a great family who supported me. But Washington would have been a little bit. They may have been watching some games on TV. Granted, basketball has a lot more games than football, so you can make it a little more doable on a Saturday. But definitely something that would be, like you said, an appeal to, you can take your car. Hopefully the gas prices go down. So you can take your car to the game. And it's a one-day trip, there and back if you needed to. But anyways.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be a much better fit for him. And we'll get back to Mateer in 1 minute in our NIL talk. Just want to say on the other side, got a commitment today from Nebraska, from Stanford, the red got me. Stanford offensive tackle, played right tackle, played some left tackle too. Gabe just put out a good in the weeds on his film. It was really, really interesting. McClinko, he played in 10 games, played over 1,000 snaps, gave up 22 pressures, 4 sacks, and gives a lot of experience for our offensive line, especially with the injuries we had with Jacob Sexton, Jake Taylor, and Michael Tarquin leaving. Never hurts to have guys that add depth and also experience at the D1 level that have proven it. So going to be good to get him, let Beatonbow kind of coach him up and see how he develops in the offseason and then going into next year.
Right. Was he the one that said there was no better place to be than like with Coach Beat 'em Ball if you want to be an O line, or was that a different O line commit?
That was
Be
that
honest, the
was
names are starting to run
yeah,
together.
that was earlier today. That was the 2026 inside offensive lineman commit we had,
Oh
and
yes.
his name
Well,
is
point
blanking on
stands.
me.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm sure any O line that convinced us would agree. As far as Bill's I don't like first name basis. Bill. As far as his accolades stand for him.
So we had a question: how many years does John Mateer have left? He could play. He started in 2022, set, and then played 2024 was his first year starting. So set 2022 and then set 2023. Not really set, but back up. And then this year was his first year starting. Obviously, you see how well he did. So has a lot of ability and a lot of talent. His first 2 years he only played and he only attempted 2 passes in 2022 and 17 in 2023. But this year, obviously, you see the stats that he had and how good he really is. So he'll have at least one more year. I don't know if he gets any of an extra year or not. I mean, with the way that stuff works now, I mean, who knows? But it does seem like there is going to be at least an opportunity to have him for a minimum 1 year, which is going to be big.